it's not really I can't even do the Joker laugh either, because I don't remember what I did. When you're doing something like that, you just don't remember. It's kind of like live theater. You don't remember your performance until after you get off stage and go, what did I just do? Because the adrenaline's going and everything like that. Marshall Lee right there.
Yeah. How is it working with all the characters from Adventure Time?
How's it working with all the characters from Adventure Time? It's a lot of fun. I've watched Jeremy Shada grow up. He was a little boy, when we first started, and now he's driving, and he graduated from high school. So it's just like, it's wild. Tom Kenny, who you also know as SpongeBob SquarePants, he's the Ice King. He plays various roles. He is amazing. It's always a treat to be in the booth with him. Hinden, Princess Bubblegum, she's great. And Penn Ward, he's doing, oh my God. Ah! It's funny about, those people. That Lumpy Space Princess, the Banana Guard. I played the Banana Guard on the show, and my Banana Guard is basically, they were like, okay, be the Banana Guard. I was like, well, what do you want me to do? And Penn was in the studio, and I would push Penn's chops when we were in the recording studio. I just be like, well, I'm just going to make it sound like Penn doing Lumpy Space Princess. So if you notice, Banana Guard, just like this, except he doesn't say, oh my God. It's just him. So, yeah, so that's pretty funny. Steve Little is on the show. He's also on Eastbound and Down. He plays Kenny Powers' best friend. Yeah, he's on the show, and he plays a whole bunch of different characters. And it's great. It's just so weird. It's just such a weird show. I still don't know what's going on in it. I don't know. If you asked me a plot line to any one of the, I'd just be like, I couldn't tell you at all. I don't know why he was making bacon pancakes and singing about it, but he did it. The other thing is that with those scripts, they're numbered scripts. They don't have any stage direction in them, so it doesn't really make any sense when you read it. But if you match it to the storyboard, it makes sense. But the storyboard is like that thick. It's like a big thing. You gotta get, okay, where's the word go up with the thing? It's frustrating. So I usually don't know. I used to sit there and I don't get this gig. I don't get this gig. And D. Bradley Baker, who's like Ben 10, everything. Yeah, he does stuff like Adventure Time. He just goes, I'm like, I don't get this gig. He just looked at me and went, John, just cry in the bag of money. Cry in the bag of money that they're giving you to be silly on the show. And I go, okay. I'm crying in the bag of money, Dave. I want to know why. But I would talk to Tom Kenny about it. Like, dude, what is with this show? And this is the first or second season. Like, I don't get it. And he's like, John, it's this generation's Yellow Submarine. And I went, okay, so it's this okay. So that's what you're saying, Tom? All right, cool. You see like 6-year-old kids like, I love the show. College students, we love the show. Yeah. I'm sorry, dude, I'm sorry. Family friendly guy. Right here.
Do you remember the episode where Bimo got lost in the woods and Bimo was with a bubble and a baby?
Yeah, I did see that one. That one freaked me out. Yeah. The baby and the bubble and the Bemo's walking through the forest and the... Yeah, that was weird, man. I'm sorry. So what's the question? Yeah, I'm just freaked out already. What line? See, this is the thing.
Remember
to get the refill later?
What did I say? Hey, little bubble. What did I say?
You pop the bubble. Yeah, you're like, hey, little bubble.
I just popped the bubble and just went, hey, little bubble. Popped and just popped it. Was the bubble a fart? See, that's the kind of thing. It's just like, so the fart's in a bubble, and so that's the kind of thing this show has. I mean, I'll never, I never know what's going on. Yes, this young man in the fin.
Could you do an impression of Nikki and Dino?
Oh God, Nikki Yang is also an illustrator on the show, but she does the voice of BMO and the voice of Lady Rainicorn. And Lady Rainicorn, and Nikki translates all the lines from English to Korean. So, yeah. BMO, one of my favorite BMO lines is, yes, Finn, put it in my butt. Sorry. Just like, knocked out off the rolls.
Like 17 press releases already.
Oh, really? 17 press releases? I'm sorry. It's okay. It's all right. Yes. Can I do a who? Randy? Oh, Randy. I love Randy. This is an interesting story, but Randy is the character in Futurama. He's this guy. Hey, Calculon's back. Randy was originally in the first episode that he appeared in. He was Man in the Mob. That's all his name was. Man in the Mob. And see, where I come from, I grew up in Jersey and lived in New York City, and there's always a very flamboyant individual in a mob. There's always one that's just like, this won't do! No justice, no peace, no justice! So I just went with it. Just was like, yeah. And it was originally drawn as an old guy. Like this old, like, hey, I'm a man in the mob. And I didn't even see the drawing. They changed the drawing, so they made Randy fabulous. Is there a doctor in the house? Silly. Yes, sir.
I have a two-part question.
Uh-oh.
Okay, first part, who is your favorite, like, voice that you've heard and it probably inspired you or added to how you are nowadays?
Okay.
And the second part is, you know, with all the great cartoons and animations and stuff like that, how was it working with the cast of Junior Award?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Alright, that's interesting too. Okay, so the first part, you want to know, I already forgot the first part. Red eye. Blame it on the red eye.
Who inspired you?
Who inspired me? You know, it's interesting because my inspirations were stand-up comics. Growing up in the 70s, you know, it was the era of you would buy a comedy album and hide it from your family and go listen to it, with headphones on, and I would listen to, I had George Carlin's Class Clown album. And I listened to it over and over and over and over, Hey, you're an official fight under the arm, all those bits, all those little bits, and he would do, and I loved Billy Crystal growing up because he used to do the Howard Cosell, Muhammad Ali, and that was like the first impression I did of it was of Billy Crystal doing them, Muhammad, tell us how you feel about the upcoming fight. You gotta talk about Joe Frazier. I'm a woman, I'm gonna take him alive. And so it's just those, Steve Martin, all those, Richard Pryor was a huge influence. That's why it's so dirty, I'm sorry. But Richard was, the first person I met when I came up here was Stoney. He opened a barber shop. The old mudbone bits and stuff like that. And, you that those are the things. And just growing up, like you listen to how people talk, you know. So, I mean, it was stand-up comedians, but you know, now I get to work with all these people that listen to the same albums that I did and were inspired by the same things, you know. I mean, we all sit there. I mean, you know, you got me, Rob Paulson, D. Bradley Baker, you know, Jeff Bennett, all in the same room, and Kevin Michael Richardson, all in the same room, talking about, you know, old Richard Pryor bits and old, you know, class clown bits, and we all listen to Wild and Crazy Guys, so we all know the. I mean, it's just, you know, yeah. And the Gears of War thing, it was a lot of fun. The only stuff I really recorded with the other guys was the stuff that I recorded with Carlos Ferro, who plays Dom, and we did those final scenes together. We did them together, and then we did them separate too. I know we got both takes. They did a lot of coverage on that because it's important to the storyline. Carlos was great in that episode. Very sad to see Dom go. Kind of sad. But yeah, those are, you know, those are fun ones. I saw somebody over there with a lancer sticking up, by the way. Yes, what's your question?
Oh yeah, my question is like, since Futurama got sentenced to death by snoozing for a second time,
Yes.
how do you feel about like pretty much retiring an iconic voice you have? And is there a chance you guys might come back with some other like video?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I have a gig in September to do a Simpsons Futurama crossover. We'll record that in September. That'll come out, I don't know, I guess sometime in mid 2014, something like that. As far as the show is concerned, I mean, it's just not in production anymore. It's not over. We've come back to life so many times. It's zombie Futurama at this point. And I don't know if Matt has something up his sleeves. I mean, it's Matt Groening. You know, he can do it himself if he wants to. So, I mean, it's one of the best gigs I've ever had in my life, period. And it'll be sad if it's really over, if it's done. But at least I got the shot. At least I hung in there. I got nominated I won an Annie Award. I got nominated for an Emmy one year. I'm good. Maurice LaMarche finally got 2 Emmys for crying out loud. Like, we beat our peers. We beat The Simpsons. Like, many years we won Emmys. So it's all good. And we went for writing. It was just a fantastic experience. So, yes, the J-Cat right up front.
Which one do you like better, voicing as Bender or for Jake?
Which one do I like voicing better, Bender or Jake? Well, it's hard to say because they're both my children, kind of. They both came out of my mind. You can't really pick the favorite, because then the other one gets jealous. That's when things get really weird. No, but you know, I mean, they're both important to me. I mean, it's turning into the Adventure Time stuff is turning out to be some of the craziest stuff I've ever done, and you know, it's just blown up. I mean, it's huge. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I look out here and I see all the J-Cats and the Finn shirts and Finn hats, and it just, every con I go to, it gets more and more crazy, and I just love it. So I don't have a favorite. I love them all equally. With the Kane thing, yes. I'm sorry, I don't know who you're supposed to be. I should. Okay. It's okay.
Of all the characters that you voiced, who's your favorite character to voice? And also, could you probably don't remember this, but if you did Wrath from Ben 10, also can you do that voice?
Yeah, I can totally do Wrath from Ben 10. Listen, lady, I don't know why you're holding a cane up in the air. Let me tell you something. Wrath's freaking out right now. It's so hot outside. Yeah, Wrath. I've had some favorites. I mean, there's all sorts of really wacky. I mean, I love doing Bender. I love doing Jake. I mean, it's you guys remember Tack and the Power of Juju? I played was it Disgusting Juju or Horrible Juju or something like that? And it was this